Video games. That's not video games. Fun stuff.
All
I'll
right.
tell you what. Have you got the game up? I would say the game. I'm just going to call it the game. Well, we know it's WarhammerQuest Silver Tower, but have you got the game up and running on something at the moment? Because I think we can probably like play each other if we time it right.
Yeah,
Today.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping to like just talk to you a bit about some questions first, just so we don't like interrupt too much. Like, obviously for me, like since like Rodeo Games, or at least sort of knew you. I think I mostly talked with what was his name, Richard.
Richard, yeah, okay, yeah, blimey, Richard. You know, that's really strange. I was just having lunch with Richard today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met him like a couple of hours ago. We went to this new chicken shop in Guildford. It's very strange thing, but yeah, he's a lovely chap. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Like, part of my questions I would just want to ask you, like, so with Rodeo Games, like, what happened with that whole thing? Because I remember there was a while that it was like up in the air, sort of thing, and then it just kind of like vanished. So I always wondered, like, what went wrong there? Like, what happened?
Well, so I guess, are we in the? Is this us talking now on
we might
sort
as
of
well.
video?
Yeah,
we might as well. Yeah, okay, great. We could just put some background video on
now.
Yeah. It's all right. It gives it more of a kind of podcasty flavor, I suppose. Anyway, yeah. So what happened with Rodeo Games? Like, it was all going nicely. We did like a couple of games of our own IPs, Hunters, and then Hunters 2, and then we got involved with the Games Workshop lot, and we did WarhammerQuest, which was the first ever Warhammer game on mobile, which is kind of crazy.
Yes, I remember that.
And yeah, it's really great. And then we did Deathwatch with them. And at that point, the studio, so it started out, it was just 4 of us, 3 developers and a business guy. And we were just sort of didn't really know what to expect or what to do. We just knew we wanted to make our own games. And by the time we'd done our 4th one, which was Deathwatch, the team had grown to about 10 people. And it was sort of taking on more of a studio sort of thing. And with that came like a bunch of stresses, you know, because we're dealing with games which were getting up towards £1 million sort of pounds worth in budget and stuff like that, which is very different to when you just start out doing some little mobile stuff. And so when we wrapped on Deathwatch, 2 of the directors, like 2 of the founding 4, just said they wanted to go back into the regular games industry to go and make AAA games again, because it was less stressful. Like there's an awful lot of stress that comes with running a games company. Probably that, you know, talking to somebody who works in a hospital is probably nowhere near the same level of stress. But
well, I mean, like there's more pressure for games companies for sure, because if the thing fails, then it's like it really sucks. Because at least with the hospital, I'm part of like a contract union, so it's not as stressful in that sense. But
yeah, I mean, you've got a job, haven't you? Whereas if you're only as good as your last game, they say, and if it flops and you haven't got any money in the bank, then everyone gets fired, and it's quite a heavy weight to wear, you know. And especially at that point, people were coming into having families. You know, we were all guys in our sort of early to mid 30s, so people were starting to have children. And there's a lot of hours that go into making video games as well. Like sometimes we'd be in the office until like 4 a.m, that kind of stuff. So
especially with a small team and everything, I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so 2 of the original guys just said like they wanted to go back into the games industry. So they essentially, like, we had a chat about it all, and me and the other guy, we decided that, you know, there was little point sort of carrying on. We couldn't really replace these 2, not easily anyway. And so we all sort of went our separate ways. And Rodeo Games sort of carried on selling products for a little bit. But that was kind of it. And then so I'd worked together at Codemasters with my friend Pete, who I met him there at Cody's, and he was just coming off of the back of something, finishing some game, and I'd just finished with the Rodeo Game stuff, and that was about sort of, I don't know, October sort of time, and then we October like 7 years ago, I think, and yeah, we just sort of met up in the pub a couple of times. We'd go out drinking together and things, and we were just like, well, why don't we just try our own thing for a little bit? So we both had like enough money to do stuff for 6 months, to sort of pay for having families and stuff. And so we decided to make a little game in Unity, which is a video games engine, to learn Unity and see if there was still a sort of a premium market out there on mobile. And we made this little game called Perchang,
Yeah.
a little company called Perchang, and yeah, and that game kind of went gangbusters, and it was really great. So then we sort of got in a couple of extra people, and we started doing turn-based strategy things again. And we got involved with Games Workshop and did WarhammerQuest 2, and now Silver Tower. So it's very much a kind of continuation of that work we did at Rodeo, just with a sort of slightly different team and stuff. So yeah, I guess I've been doing turn-based strategy now for about 10 years, which is bonkers when you think about it.
Oh, I can imagine, because I remember whenever I was doing like kind of like an ode to Rodeo Games, because I had no idea what happened to the company. I was just kind of like, I just randomly remember coming across Perchang, and I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
Because I just
sure.
saw WarhammerQuest 2, and I'm like, who is this? I had
Yeah.
no idea. It took such a long time, because I think you're one of the only founding members from Rodeo that's in Perchang. So I never like, I just remember seeing Ben Murch, because every time I'd start up like Hunters or whatever, it'd say all your names on the
Oh, it
screen.
did, didn't it? Yeah, that was
Yeah, and
my
I
idea.
think it
That
was
was
like
my
Ben. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I mean, that's how I learned all your guys' names. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
one
remember
of the
seeing
guys
that.
was really against that, but everyone else thought it was okay.
I mean, it doesn't come off that bad. It's like it's a nice little like just like streak around the what was it, like the planet or the moon or something like
Yeah,
that, and
it's
just like
just on the intro screen, wasn't it? It's a sort of cribbed off of Half-Life, that sort of stuff. Because like I don't know
yeah,
if you played Half-Life the original, but when you go into that, it just does the credits at the beginning. And I thought that was such a clever idea because games people don't really, it's not like we're in films like where everyone knows all the actors' names and
yeah,
directors and all that kind of stuff. In games, very few people know who the people are behind them. Um, very few people know about the studios behind them. So yeah, it was my, I don't know, just my
yeah.
push
It,
in
it
that
worked out
direction.
well. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're annoyed by it, it's like up there for like literally a minute at the most, and just goes
Like a
by,
few
just shows the
seconds. It's
names,
just
nicely done.
yeah.
Like it was a nice like fade sort of look to it. So I thought it was really clever.
Yeah, it's a nice game, that one. I'm proud
Oh
of the
yeah.
work done on it. It's good games, good games. With Games Workshop, like I absolutely love Games Workshop. I sort of grew
Mhm.
up with it. It was I first got shown an issue of White Dwarf magazine when I was about 8 years old on the school bus, and at that point I was just hooked. I collected a Chaos Army, and all the way through my teenage years, Games Workshop Warhammer was always there. And then I
Right.
kind of and I sort of went off to university and found drinking and girls and all that kind of stuff, and then sort of came back to the fold again when I joined the games industry, funnily enough. So I was at Rebellion up in Oxford, and a friend of mine, who was on the same team as me when we were doing Game Boy Advance games. Wow, that's going back a few years. He was really into workshops, so we both went to the Games Workshop store a few times, and yeah, sort of got back into it. And so I'd work with Games Workshop all the time. I absolutely love their stuff, especially the New Age of Sigmar stuff. It's such an exciting direction that I could
Mhm.
do games for days. But of course, there's a whole load of stuff behind the scenes where you got to make sure you're going in the right direction for your company and for their company, and make sure all sorts of things are in the place. So yeah, doing whatever it is the future with people, he said
Yeah.
intentionally, obtusely, it would be cool. I mean, we as a studio, we did talk to Fox a couple of years ago. Speaking of
Oh
other
really?
IPs, yeah. So this is before they got swallowed up by Disney, because we were talking to them and doing a pitch for an Aliens game, like a turn-based strategy Aliens game,
Oh, that'd
which
be
would have
fantastic.
it would be really cool. And we got quite a long way down the line, and then everything went quiet from the Fox side of things. And then the news came out that they'd been bought, and about half the people on the team got fired on the Fox sort of thing. And they were just like, sorry, you got to deal with someone else now. And then of course Disney weren't particularly interested in doing anything with that franchise at that point in time. So it's strange. I think they're doing an Alien show actually.
Oh, are they?
Aren't they on I think so, on Disney Plus or so. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Hopefully it'll be really good because Aliens is
Hopefully.
awesome.
Yeah.
so doing stuff like that, but it's always sort of been turn-based strategy, really. We've got our own sort of IP that we're sort of working up as well at the same sort of time, which I can't talk about.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
that's
then doing something similar to Hunters again would be excellent, because there's so much sort of freedom with your own stuff. I mean, with the Games Workshop stuff, you've got this great big behemoth that you're kind of working with, and it's amazing, like all these rules and all this lore and all these factions and everything that you're trying to sort of take the best of and turn it around and put it into a game and do all sorts of funny stuff. And then when you're just doing your own IP, it's a very different, like, kettle of fish. Sorry, I'm going to keep the idioms to a minimum because
it's okay.
it's a very different proposition, because you sort of, you just got a blank page and you're like, right, what would be cool? I could do anything. So
Well, that's the thing, because with like doing your own IP, it's more of like a blank canvas sort of thing. So like you can come up with a
yeah,
story, but I guess there's also a benefit to taking another sort of story and just kind of working within that universe. I would imagine it's like it can be both. It can be also easier, but also you're within like sort of like a constraint a little bit more, depending on how like free the IP is, I guess.
yeah, that's right. That's funny, actually, taking stories with I quite enjoy a bit of literature, even though you wouldn't believe it, to listen to me. And when we started up Rodeo Games, I was reading a lot of Shakespeare, and so Hunters 2 is pretty much Coriolanus, the Shakespeare play. Just sort of, all the main plot points and things have been cribbed off of that, to the point where I think I was rereading the script the other day, because wrote scripts out for these things. I think one of the chapter titles or one of the mission titles was actually cribbed directly. It's something called "Let the Crows Eat Them" or "Let the Crows Peck Them" or something like
Yes, I
that.
remember
It's
that. Yes,
complete.
yes, yes.
Yeah, it's just a real. And even the main guy, Caius Black, is sort of named after Coriolanus. It's just a shortened form of that. And Black being, of course, from my previous creative director, the last AAA games job I was at. He was a great guy called Stuart Black, who I had a lot of time for him. He taught me a lot of good stuff about design and stuff. So that was my way of paying tribute to him, I suppose, by naming him after the bad guy who turns good.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like that's a good way to homage to him. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sure.
I
Yeah.
remember spending so much time with hunters. My God.
It was great. Yeah, it was also the time where there was nothing else like that on iPhone. That was kind of why
No.
we set up the company. Because I went to Vegas with my friend Laurent, who was one of the rodeo guys.
Mhm.
And it was when do you remember the volcanic ash cloud thing? I don't know if you would. It was a really, really big news in England and Europe, because it
Oh yes,
stopped all the
vaguely,
transatlantic flights. It was about
vaguely.
12 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, and so I was in Vegas, and that happened. The volcano exploded, and all this ash went into the atmosphere, and they grounded all the planes. And so we were stuck in Vegas for an extra week with minimal funds. So a lot of that was sitting drinking, dollar beers and stuff, and talking about how cool it would be to do turn-based strategy on iPhone. And then by the time we got back home the next week, we'd sort of figured out how to do a company, and that was the genesis behind Rodeo Games starting.
So it sounds like in two cases it was like during a pub is when you figured out your games a
Yeah, there's
little
a
bit.
lot of figuring out stuff in the pub. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's
We
fair.
call
That's
them
fair.
design meetings, but really it's just sitting around and having a booze and figuring out some stuff.
Yeah, the best ideas can come from that. So
Yeah.
with Perchang now, how old is the game? That Silver, like your most recent game, since the multiplayer. So how
Yeah,
old is that
WarhammerQuest
game
Silver
now? I think
Tail.
it's like, yeah,
It's coming up to 2 years old.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's also our first foray into free to play stuff. So really, the first year was just us kind of trying to find our feet and figuring out what sort of worked. We're a really small team over at Perchang. There's only four of us,
Yeah, I've
uh,
seen that.
which is, yeah, sort of quite unlikely for a big free to play game. So making the transition from premium into free to play was a real challenge for us, because we had to rewrite everything and backends and do all sorts of stuff. Um, and so the first year was just sort of spent figuring out all that kind of stuff, really. And then from there we sort of we've added in extra content, and yeah, like you say, we've just done multiplayer, which is something I've been gunning for like the last 10 years. We've always had a multiplayer version of the turn-based strategy game, so like that working but never released. So back in the Hunters days, we had multiplayer Hunters working, but it was never solid and stable enough to release. And then WarhammerQuest had a multiplayer version that never really got released. Then Deathwatch, and so this is the first time. So I'm pretty happy about it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's always like with turn-based games, especially like multiplayer is kind of like that next. Usually among the release times, like it's always one of those things that's like the big release is always the multiplayer.
Yeah,
But it's always, I can imagine it's always a little more complicated, like how you want to do it. Like, because you guys have it right now as like a randomized one, right? So it's like you just kind of fight whoever's online.
that's right. Yeah.
Do you find that easier than if you were to do like an invite sort of thing? I'd imagine a bit.
Yeah, I mean, so the idea of doing invite stuff is coming later in the development cycle. The reason why we did it all like this is because leagues are starting, ranked play, sorry, I should say, not leagues, starting in October. And to have that, you sort of can't really have that and also an invite kind of plays, so because you could cheat it quite easily is the reason why. So if we when we do sort of the invite thing, so like me specifically inviting you to play a game, then perhaps even using our own characters and stuff like that rather than the roster of multiplayer characters, is a cool sort of game mode, but it's not the core game mode that we designed for this one. So this is all more sort of random play, more like Clash Royale, sorry, something like that, or like Valorant or some sort of game.
Yeah, well, it's been going pretty well. I've tried it a little bit. Like I usually will hold back a little bit just for video, so that way my reaction's a little more pure. But from what I've played a bit, it is pretty fun. It works really well.
Thanks. Yeah, we're pretty happy with it. Yeah, with our play tests and stuff. In fact, I tell you what, do you want to boot it up? I've got 10 minutes left until I got to go into a meeting about multiplayer. Okay. Funnily enough, so do you want to? Should we boot up and have a game?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I'll tell you what, I'm in multiplayer now. So if you let me know when you're ready to press that fight button, then I'll press it at a similar-ish sort of time, and we should get matched against each other, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, let me know when you're ready to battle.
Yeah, no problem.
Who to play as? Let's get that. No, let's get that. Yeah. You would have thought, as a developer, I'd have all the characters unlocked, but I really do not.
You would also think, with how long I've been playing it for, I would have more characters than I do, but I don't. I usually wait to be like while I'm like more. I always go for like the more pure thing. Like when I played Hunters a lot.
Yeah.
I did more of like I had already played it so many times, so I already knew. I memorized the maps practically.
Yeah.
So with this game, it was a little more like I wasn't quite sure. Oh, multiplayer battle. There it is. Okay. Yeah, like with this one, I try to keep my reaction a little more. Yeah, like I didn't know what am I trying to say?
It's hard doing two things at once.
I just try to make it more genuine, basically.
Are you on that fight screen yet, where it's got character select and all that stuff? Okay, so whenever you're ready, press that button and let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I got my character selected, so I guess I just do fight, and then we'll try and sync them up.
Yep, so tell me when you're going to press fight.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right,
Finding a worthy opponent.
Finding a worthy opponent. Found one.
I will love if we can do this on the first try. I don't have high hopes, but I would love it.
Oh, I reckon we'll be all right. Hey, look at this. Okay, we haven't named our character. That's hilarious. All right, so I'm playing against a Mistweaver. Your team is a Mistweaver, a Stormcast, and a Dark Oath Archer, right?
Yes.
And you're on the Riverway Rampage.
Yeah, let's see here. So you're player 5QEH?
Yep, that's me. Hi, player 5QEH.
Wow, first try. Damn, I've never succeeded that so easily. Now, if I remember from this game, like when I first played it, I didn't notice the crystals.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess the whole point of this is to either go after the crystals or go eliminate the team, right?
That's right. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So also within 30 seconds each, so everyone's got 30 seconds to play their turn.
Which is a brilliant thing, because the worst thing to happen with any sort of game where it's like a turn-based thing is usually like one person's just not moving or doing anything. I hate those moments.
Like Hearthstone or something. Oh, actually, no. Hearthstone does have a turn timer. That's where we nicked it from, actually. Oh, look at you! Look at you trying to.
Yeah, no. I'm
trying to mystify my characters.
It was just one short too.
Do you know what? I never ever play on this side. This is strange. I'm always at the top for some reason.
I thought it would be like different viewpoint or something like that. Okay, so like that's how it works. So because I've been at the top like every single time, so I just figured it was like kind of that was just my viewpoint.
Oh right, no. You can start from bottom or the top. The rotation of the map never really changes. It's always that one sort of camera angle, which is also something we're looking at changing maybe. Oh, look at you! Right, first blood's gonna happen soon.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I get for playing with the creator though, or one of the creators. Oh my god. Okay, where'd you go? Okay, let me see.
Get out of it. Get out of it. No.
There, that's what I meant to do.
Of course, the dog. Oh, no.
What the hell?
Oh no. I've got that's an Auric Hearthguard, so it's got like a big magma pipe, like flamethrower thing. Wow, you just killed him.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not friendly. Come on.
Okay, I'm going against the creator. I've gone against the creator one other time. It has not gone well for me.
Okay.
I can't go easy.
Totally destroyed. Right, come on.
It's just a one shot sometimes. Okay.
Yes, there's an awful lot. It's a lot more like chess than a kind of, I don't know, like take lots of hits type thing. So it's more about positioning and stuff like that. Which I quite like because it sort of makes it a bit quicker.
Yeah, it makes it feel like, despite the fact that even if one person's got more experience than the other, it doesn't really unbalance it too much.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, the hell did you just do? Oh, well.
Yeah, it's spellcasting time. Oh, it's going to take a bit of help.
This is what happened before. I defeated the guy with all his characters, and then next thing you know, I'm getting... The tower's getting attacked. Let me see if I can... I don't think I'm going to win this.
Oh my word!
Okay, so it's going to be down to the next round.
Oh, it is. Oh no!
How did you do to my character? Like a lump charm.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what it is. Come on! Oh,
that was close.
That was. Thank you though for the chest. Yes, the kill bonus. Excellent. That was close. That was closer than it should.
That was quite close.
Right.
Oh man.
Let's unlock that. Yes, as I mentioned, ranked players coming in October, and
yeah, I see that ranked play October 1st. Oh, that's coming out very soon.
Yeah. So and that gives out so current champion cards are our new kind of currency. By the way, let me know when you're ready to start playing again. I'm just
yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to see if you have more time or not.
Oh yeah, it's okay. They can wait.
Okay.
They're listening to this. Hi guys. Well, they will be in the future at some point, I guess.
At some point. All right. So,
okay, right. Let me know when you're ready to jump back in again.
So I'm in the connect. So let's go 3, 2, 1.
Go for it.
Perfect.
Look at that. Finding a worthy opponent. Oh, unless this isn't you. Lava Lashings. Oh no, I'm playing against someone else. Oh, have you changed your name to Kesh?
No.
Oh wow, I'm literally playing against someone else now. This is...
So there's people playing, which makes sense. Yeah, I don't have you at all, so you must just be playing against some random.
I'm playing against a random person. Wow. What a popular game we've made.
Hey, it's good. Yeah, I'm playing against someone called Felix.
Felix? All right.
Torn apart by this. This is
good name, Felix.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, makes me think of Bolt.
I love that opening. Okay, I'm in a new map. Yeah, so like it does a nice cinematography sort of opening. That's wonderful.
Oh, thanks, man. Which map are you in? The lava one?
The lava one, yeah.
Yeah, where it sort of zooms across the lava and goes into the actual... Yeah, I'm playing that one as well right now.
That's beautiful.
This person's good though, Cash.
Like, darn it. little did I know they're going against a creator of the game.
Well, I don't. What are they doing? Oh, goodness me! Come on. Right, we'll just have to hope. We'll just hope it'll be all right. Yeah. So the ranked play stuff that's coming out in October is
Right.
it lasts a month, and you have a month to basically get up the rank as high ranking as you possibly can by winning matches. So you win matches, you go up ranking. You lose matches, you go down. A lot like the ranked play stuff in Hearthstone, really.
Right.
And then at the end of the month, it decides you get shown where you are on the ranking ladder. So it's ranks 1 through to 30, and the higher up the ranking you get, the better prize you get essentially. And the prizes are mostly revolving around character cards. Wow, this person is absolutely destroying me. I'm just gonna end it quickly.
Oh God.
Goodbye,
I'm doing
sweet
okay
prince.
on my end. They actually, unlike you, they actually fell into the trap of the those things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go towards that.
Damn, just lost against Kesh. Okay. I can't believe it.
If only that guy knew. Maybe if he sees this video, he'd be like, "Wait, I went against who?"
Yeah. We'll have to track him down, see who he is. Right, I'm going to rename my character so you can actually see
ban
it.
that player. Thank you.
The
Just run a dictatorship. Why not?
Yeah, been taking a lot of lessons from Putin, apparently. Hey, why can't I? Oh, can't do that. Can't put spaces in your name, apparently.
Oh shoot. Yeah, I should probably change my name. That might make it easier for us.
That mightn't it? Yeah, might be able to. There we go. There we go. The mean magpie is back in town. There we go.
All right, I won mine, thankfully.
Oh, you won it. Good job, man.
Yeah,
Right.
it worked out well somehow. Okay, so let's see. How do I change my name?
Hang on,
Actually, while I have
you go to the left tab, the player tab, and then in the top left-hand corner of that box, I'm just saying 5 minutes to my team for the team for the chat. So you go to the left tab, and then top left-hand corner of that box, it's got like a little like edit button with a name next to it. You see that?
Let me see. Oh,
So
I might have started. Whoops.
Oh, you started a game?
Apparently.
Oh, were you looking for an opponent?
Yes, I'm looking for one.
Okay. Well, I've just jumped in as well. So hopefully you'll be playing against the mean magpie.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, hi. Right. I've got the worst team ever. Look at this. 2 melee guys and a sorceress. It's not going to go well for me.
Well, I mean, you won the last one. This is just... Oh, I'm at the top again.
You are, aren't you? Look at that. It is random. It is. Oh, but you get to go first.
I fully believe you.
Yeah. Did you put the cheat code in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, I do really like the rapid pace of the game. Like, it doesn't feel like it drags or anything. Like, the fact that we've already done 3 games in the span of a few minutes is actually it's good. It's a good way to time kill without dragging too long.
Yes, that was always the intention. It should be sort of battles in 5 minutes or less. Not the kind of I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite. We do on Thursday nights. This is a leftover from COVID times. But you just froze me. Ah, dang it. On Thursday nights we do a sort of gaming dads type night. So a couple of us get online, people from the games industry who also are fathers and can't leave the house, and we play some multiplayer games and stuff. And it started in COVID because we just weren't leaving the house, to go out and see people, and then it just sort of kept it up really, and it's it's really fun. So at the moment we're playing a little bit of Fortnite every now and then, and mostly Valorant, which is really excellent.
Yeah, I find when it comes to like online games, I was playing like Brawl Stars. I don't know if you've ever played that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I just find that one good for like time kill. But honestly, this one's kind of like almost. It's weird. It's like this game is. It's not even stressful fighting. Like, it just feels like, oh, there's no worry. Like, like if you have your time, you can just play.
I care so little about my characters.
I just kind of like the fact that, like, yeah, it just doesn't feel like a stressful game. Like usually when I'm playing turn-based games, I'm like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
feel like you could be any like a noob to this game and or an experienced player, you'll probably pick it up just fine.
Yeah, that was the idea of the
Mhm.
of this multiplayer stuff. Yeah, definitely. To try and
Oh,
come on, yes, ouchie.
damn it! And you
Oh,
can
and
take
a
a nice
death blow on
power.
there. Oh,
Oh,
that was lucky.
Froze.
That was lucky. Sorry, that guy never ever does that. Oh no, you're gonna nobble him in the back. Do you know what? When we were designing the rules for this game, we actually had like a directional idea as well. So you could go and hit people in the back, and you get easier critical hits and stuff like that. And we sort of took it out because in the single player stuff, it didn't really make that much sense.
Right.
Because you didn't really care about the strategy as much in sort of those minute terms. It was a bit more broad than that. And now we've got multiplayer stuff. I wonder if it would make a more compelling, gameplay mechanic to go in there with things like if I flank this person and hit them in the side, what happens?
Oh yeah, because sort of
Given
like
it is so sort of chess-like and positional.
yeah, because there's some games that do that, like where if you hit them from the back, it does like a little more damage or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like automatic hits and things like
Yeah.
that. You're
I
just
think
out
you
of
might win
range.
this. I don't have much
No.
left. Oh.
I'm going for broke. Going for broke on this crystal. Oh, it's a death blow. Oh, come
Oh my
on.
god, that was I mean, I'm pretty screwed here as it is. I might as well go for broke.
Thinnest sliver of hope. Yep, go for it. Oh wow.
Oh!
Oh! Holy cow.
Please save me, and not today.
The choice
Either
is
my tower or me.
the kill or the crystal. Oh,
My
well
god.
played, sir.
She did
Little
well.
golf
I
clap
have to say, of all the characters, she's got to be one of my favorites. She
there.
does quite well for me.
Yeah, Mr. Weaver's awesome. Cool, man. I would love to stay and play more, but I've got to run off to this meeting about
Yeah, no
what we're
worries. Thank you
playing.
so much for joining me.
That's all right.
I'm excited to see what else you guys have for your game. And again, thank you for taking the time to chat with me, especially since like small-time YouTuber,
No, man, it's all good. We love your videos over here, so please do keep making them. And yeah, hey, thanks for having me on the channel. It's really awesome.
And thanks again for coming.